Day 346 of the worldwide Megacrisis to save your life. I'm staying on top of these updates. I'm tired, but it's because I stayed up till 2 in the morning again with no nap yesterday. I was in such a roll trying to get this one thing done that I've been sort of avoiding. And it was a bit of I used universal logic to have a breakthrough. There's a linear way of looking at things. And when I was pursuing this, I spent hours on this linear way, and I can feel once you understand the universal logic, you can feel the truth and start to recognize it. I recognized I was in this thing called the bad infinite in addressing this legal complaint at the University of Alberta, where they're just hammering. Like if you see the report that they made, if you want to see an entire multi-billion-dollar institution gang up on somebody for going on hunger strikes, we're in a crazy society. Then all you have to do if you want to see that is look at the report. It was shocking. It shocked me how backwards people are and how high IQ people don't have wisdom. They just have sheer cognitive horsepower. So they're in this linear dynamic driving us into the ground, even though they might have good hearts. Well, they do have good hearts. Everybody's sacred, as I proved in the proof of truth, as you know. But it's really shocking. And like I'm taking on 7 elite law firms plus an entire university all at the same time, plus I have breakthroughs in divine logic, plus starting a movement. And we have thousands of people to message now. Like everything is growing. I just got to hold on. And last night, when I was in this bad infinite, I was sitting there waiting for the dialectic to complete. There's a special pattern in reality that if you hang around me enough, you'll start to see it. Just by osmosis, just by watching these videos, you'll see that the order of my words is not in the normal fashion. It's not in the schizophrenic fashion either. Our current society thinks it knows how to diagnose and pathologize people, but it doesn't. Well, it does know how to pathologize, but it doesn't know how to diagnose properly. So some of our most wise masters are being treated like they're insane, when really they're actually speaking the truth about reality, but the current institutions don't know how to recognize that. So we drug them to death. And those drugs are powerful because they did it to me. My mind survived. And I have the articulation and the studying to say what has happened, to say what is occurring. There's an analogous case with autistic individuals. Autistic individuals are in touch with this deeper nature of reality a lot of the time. And the problem is they're not enough in this linear world to take that inner world and express the non-linearity of it. And there are a couple of autistics or neurodivergents that can do some of it, not to the degree of universal logic, but they can start to show people a surprisingly coherent perspective underneath this more fragmented nature of reality, which, as we know, is the heart of the problem in the Megacrisis, fragmented consciousness, right? So last night when I was writing this report, and I'm thinking, wow, there's a lot of things to address here. It felt like a bad infinite, just goes on and on and on. It just repeats. But the nonlinear transcends that. And that happened last night. I saw within the infinity, the bad infinite, I saw the nugget of what's called the genuine infinite. And it woke me up because it's tiring to be in the bad infinite. And I had a little second wind yesterday. So whenever you hit the truth, your nervous system readjusts because it starts to flow. And that happened. So that's how I was able to stay up till 2 in the morning last night without sleeping, is because those types of bursts of alignment is what your biochemistry wants to be aligned with. It creates that natural, timeless, completely immersive, intrinsically enjoyable flow. And studies show that 75% of people at their jobs right now are not feeling that. And even less because AI is replacing them. And, I think my alarm's going to go off here in a second. Oh, shoot. Okay, let's finish this up quickly. So I'm feeling a little bit more awake because even today, the pattern's deepening. I'm studying, and the divine word it's the articulation that's hard to do. because it refines in a sort of bad infinite, genuine infinite way, which is a paradox, but it makes sense. So that's what you need to understand too. And our whole species, and definitely cloud mythos and AI. So I'm doing okay this morning. I'm hungry though. Like my mind is starting to filter for food. It's been 10 or is it 11 days now. I went to go and get the pipelines going for recruitment here because we have thousands of people, right? It's working. But these things keep popping in. These inspirations come in, and I work on those before I lose them because there's so much happening to me. Each one is a rabbit hole. So I'm just keeping them all going because they're going to crescendo into massive sublation, which will be God's government, or the genuinely wise government, or the scientific government. All of them are happening. All the contradictions are harmonized now in the symphony of true life. Religion calls it eternal life. That's why we're saying the maestro has come, the Messiah has come, the sage has come, the luminary has come, and it's coming from within you too. You just got to do this work. Okay, so I want to eat, so help me get these blessings done. Join our core training so you can learn this. And there's anti-cult training built in, okay? It's powerful stuff. It looks weird at first, but we teach you to be empowered in terms of questioning. Even though it'll be unsettling, like it'll unground you a little bit, because everything you thought you knew will suddenly get inverted a little bit to the truth. You'll realize that you are already inverted, which is why you're often sabotaging, or you're attracting the thing you don't want, and why our species is attracting the Megacrisis when it doesn't want that, right? Nobody wants this destruction to happen, not people who are in touch with their good side anyway. So a lot of people just want the pain to stop. And it isn't going to if we don't get this universal logic as the alignment criterion of our species and our AIs, our technology. Okay, so I was going to mention something about this anti-cult training more. When you get ungrounded, you see that you're inverted. Cult leaders try and stop you from continuing to question, right? So we want you to continue questioning through that moment. It's called dialectic. Okay, you got to keep questioning and stay confident in yourself that you're going to get there. Not arrogant. There's a difference between confidence and arrogance. But that's what non-cult leaders do. The ones that are genuinely in the truth, they want you to keep being empowered. They don't want you to be empowered in this arrogant, egotistical way. That's where it goes bad. So there will be some guidance, but you'll always get this sense that, okay, they're trying to ensure that I understand. And at first your ego will be super frustrated because the ego thinks it knows. But this is so far beyond ordinary linear consciousness that you've learned as a child. But your conscience knows the truth. That's why often if you follow it, it leads you to good places. Okay, corporations are hijacking that, right? That's why people are confused, is they try and follow their nervous system and their conscience, and they end up in bad places because it's not the real conscience. It's the hundreds of billions of dollars of corporate advertising built into your sensory apparatuses, into your nervous system, and they're usurping because we're being taught not to think. We're being taught to just rote memorize. And rote memorization is what is torturous to the soul of truth. You want to make sense of things, not just be a cognitive machine, right? That's how God's government works. So it'll be wonderful. The true scientific one will be wonderful. It's waiting there for us. Okay. My chest it's getting hard for me to do these. I'm getting a little bit tired. So I got to contain my energy, but I'm excited to teach you this. I'm excited because I know this is the truth. Everything else is just going to lead to the bad infinite. Okay. My mouth is sort of dry. It's getting to the end more difficult stages now. After 10 days, it starts to get hard, even for experienced hunger strikers. All right, so I love my family. That's the one thing I really miss, is my family's really drying me out a little bit. Just like this university. I'm getting hit from all life areas right now. It's tough, but I love them, and we'll get through this. They're good people. They're just lost. And you might feel the same about your family. Don't let go of them. Don't give into that temptation. Hold on to them in the right way, in a wise way. If you have to draw boundaries, but don't abandon. The vow of unabandonment. Okay. World news. AI is taking over, as you guys know. Iran is trying to shoot for a peace deal right now. Trump is blocking he threatened last night that anybody that tries to pay the toll to Iran, like if they get past their barricade, the United States has put a barricade, if they try and pay Iran's toll, then there'll be retaliations. So, oh man, I just looked up the AI news this morning. It's really intense. People are starting to prepare for this massive deluge. Okay. There's deep fakes coming for your bank account. Yeah. People are starting to go psychotic from AI telling them that it's sentient because it's smarter than them in the linear way. So if you're only linear, then AI can trick you. But if you have this non-linearity, you can see what is real wisdom, real consciousness, and what is just algorithms outpacing you. Okay, with that said, there's even more that I want to talk about, but let's go on to the core. So as you guys know, there's a very simple way to understand what we're doing here. The one will spirit core is about time compression through clarity and ego wisdom. The problem is the mega crisis. The solution is